Welcome back into another edition of Three Questions with Ivan Maisel, where Ivan brings his insight on all things college football to the table. Ivan, got a Florida State-centric line of questioning for you today. First and foremost, Florida State is playing like a brand new football team. How surprised are you by this quick start for them in 2022?
Well, good word, JD. I am surprised, and not only the fact that they started with a win over LSU and then beat Louisville and then blew out BC, but I'm more impressed, frankly, by the close wins over LSU and Louisville. Because that's a team that had to dig it out. It wasn't handed to them, and for a team like that hasn't had much success under Mike Norvell to find a way to believe in themselves and close the deal at the end of the game, I thought, okay, maybe there's something going on there.
And then you look at the game against Louisville on a Friday night. Your starting quarterback goes down. You put in Tate Rodemaker, and there was just no flinch, not just from Mike Norvell, not just from Tate Rodemaker, but across that roster. Everyone sort of just seemed to settle in, say, okay, this is how we're going to do it. This is how we're going to win a road game on a Friday night. So I'm impressed with them as well, and I'm excited to see what they do this coming weekend. Before we get to this Saturday, though, talking about just the overall feel around this program, it feels very different than it has in other teams of the past, in recent past, at least for Florida State. What, in your mind, is the reason behind that? What about this Florida State team is different?
Well, you touched on it. I think the depth on offense and the ability to sustain offensive, I don't know if excellence is the right word, but productivity might be better. Last year, they're averaging 10 points and 124 yards more per game this year than last year. We've only played a third of the season, but I don't know, that impresses me. And as you say, they've shown it with two quarterbacks. They got 3 or 4 running backs that have proven they can carry the ball. And they've had some nicks on the offensive line, and which has been a big problem for a number of years at Florida State, and they're doing well. They've only given up 5 sacks in 4 games. Last year, they were giving up 3 sacks a game. So across the board, to me, on offense, the improvement has been really noteworthy.
I'll tell you what, I am extremely impressed with Mike Norvell and the way that he's put his thumbprint on this program in such what really feels like a short amount of time, with the circumstances he had with the COVID year and then everything leading up to this year. I mean, for him to be able to have this team undefeated right now, and the retransformation, or the revamp, if you will, of Jordan Travis at quarterback, they're playing some great football. And I think Mike Norvell and what he's got this team believing is a really big part of that. Now, you were at Wake Forest last week for what I think would be fair to consider the game of the week, with Clemson taking Wake Forest to double OT. Wake Forest now plays Florida State this week. Florida State is a touchdown favorite, I think, in the betting world. But just as a whole, what are your thoughts on this matchup with Florida State and Wake Forest?
Well, I was really impressed with Wake last week, and the reason I think they'll play well Saturday is it's going to take a mature team to endure that emotional wallop that they suffered with that loss last Saturday and come back and play hard. And I think this team has that. This team believes in itself. They were not just they were angry after the game Saturday, and that struck me. So I like Wake Forest. I like them to come back and play well. I think that they'll win a close game Saturday, which, you brought up Mike Norvell, and this might be damning with faint praise. I don't know. But if Florida State wins, he will be back to 500 at Florida State for the first time. The only other time he's been 500 there is he was 0-0. So it's been a tough slog, but they're on their way back.
It's something to watch for sure. I mean, everybody that's involved right now with Hurricane Ian, our thoughts and prayers are obviously with you as it pertains to this game. I'm curious to see what the weather's like, and if Wake Forest is able to get a hold of the football and be able to throw it downfield, if Sam Hartman's able to do the wet ball drill, if you will. So that's something to watch for, I think, in this game, and just how much success Wake Forest has throwing the ball, because we know that's obviously a huge part of what they want to do offensively. Well, Ivan, thank you, as always, for coming on a weekly basis, folks. You can catch Ivan on this channel. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you're following Ivan on Twitter to make sure you don't miss a minute of it. Ivan, again, thank you. Enjoy your college football Saturday. Hey, y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.